Hello, and welcome to the University of Law. In today's video, I'm going to be unboxing and reviewing this, which is Doctor Who Hooklight 2. I'll also review Hooklight 1 with it. I did give my basic overview in that unboxing video, but obviously there's things I couldn't talk about. We were told while we finished to keep things quiet for those of you who like to wait until the two physical sets are together and then listen to it all in one go. So I've honoured that, and of course now they're both out, we can talk openly about it. So obviously this is the big spoiler, is that we've got Paul McGann's Eighth Doctor. I did wonder after the first one whether it was going to be an alternate universe or an unbound Eighth Doctor, but no, it is the Eighth Doctor. We've very much got him dated to the Time War. There's references to the War Council. When they first released this cover, I think we already knew, if you'd listened to it, that the Eighth Doctor was going to be in it. And I think the way the cover was, you could tell that they'd left him off. You could tell it wasn't quite symmetrical. You could tell that he was missing. And of course, the day it came out, there he was. And we got a great trailer, two great trailers, actually. I just love this series, Hooklight. I thought it was fantastic. I love these long form stories we get from Big Finish, these 3-hour sets, these, if you have two of them, these epic 12-parters, these 6-hour stories, just giving these incredible writers that space, just the world build, and then of course you get these great actors in to play these characters. You can have these bigger casts, you can have this bigger scope. I think they're absolutely fantastic, and obviously the War Doctor has really benefited from them. The Time War really benefits from these big stories. I'm counting this as a Time War story, but you have these massive canvas to do these incredibly intricate stories. I think there is a risk sometimes with these big stories that you have so much build up that it doesn't pay off. This paid off really well, actually. I think sometimes you get to the ending and it's a little bit flat, or it doesn't quite make sense because they're trying to tie so much together, and sometimes sometimes the type is so simple that it kind of feels a bit flat, or maybe it feels like they've ignored some important elements or things that appeared important that weren't. But I thought this tied together really well, actually. And I think that there was a moment where I kind of wondered whether it was going to be a bit flat, but actually no, it did tie together really well, and it was true to all the characters, and it was true to the story, because there was an awful lot going on. But what I loved was the first part was very much sending all the characters out on their own journey, and then this one was very much bringing them all back together. There was some lovely stuff with Tegan. We saw a side of Tegan we don't normally see. I was really intrigued by that, actually. That did surprise me where that went. There's a nice little reference, a nice little nod to Adric, and I'll never know if I was right, a little foreshadowing there. Interesting to see the Eighth Doctor meeting Adric again, and obviously recognising the importance of this encounter, of this meeting. And obviously Nessa had some great stuff, I mean, being sort of so central in the story. And of course, woven through that, the interesting idea of the Doctor in the Time War. Obviously, we know he's about to become a warrior very soon, and kind of wanting his young, naive self not to lose that naivety, and therefore not wanting to meet him and let him know what was really happening. So that was really interesting how they didn't meet, because they don't necessarily, there's no reason why they can't meet. The Doctors often meet, but there was a really great reason why they weren't meeting, and sometimes you feel a bit like it's a missed opportunity. It didn't feel like that here. It did feel, I genuinely bought the Eighth Doctor, and it said a lot about his character, because these two Doctors were quite similar. I mean, the Eighth Doctor was similar, I'd say, at the start of the Fifth Doctor, this kind of idealist and travelling and enjoying, but whereas the Fifth Doctor kind of got to keep that. I mean, maybe I'd say to an extent that kind of final season of the Fifth Doctor, maybe after the resurrection of the Daleks, and there should have been another Wayne Warriors deep. I guess there was a bit of that innocence taken away from him, but the Eighth Doctor really has it stripped from him with the Time War. So it felt really true to all of the characters, and as I say, all of the other characters felt like there was a journey for them. It's incredible how quickly the I can't remember what they were. They were like an order of sorceresses. I can't remember what they were called now, but they disappeared quite quickly. There's some great stuff with some spiders. Again, it felt the Dune Lord of the Rings kind of thing really came through again, especially Lord of the Rings. It did feel towards the end a little bit like the finale of Ravenous. to the extent of kind of the Time Lord element, but of course the Ravenous thing was Time Lord history, whereas this was the Time War. There's so much more I could say, but let's get it unboxed. Let's have a look. So, yeah, it'd be interesting to see. So that's the fifth Doctor done for this year. Usually they try and space these out, don't they? But obviously, and I'm glad they did. They wanted to release Hooklight all in one go, and there we go. So that's the fifth Doctor for this year. Unless there's a surprise and he's in the next Lost story, because there is another Lost story to come. This from the spine, that's clear. I know it's set number 8, but of course it has a Doctor number 8, of course. I did actually think, when they were talking about the eye patch in the end of the last set, I did wonder whether it had something to do with Madame Kavarian, is that her name? From the 11th Doctor era, but it didn't. Yeah, great guest cast in this as well. So let's get it open. So we've got episodes 7 and 8. Look at the 80s logo there. Booklets. Photos of the cast. Episodes 9 and 10. And episodes 11 and 12. And here's some other Fifth Doctor treats for you to enjoy. What did you think of Hooklight, of this series? Yeah, as I say, just to sort of wrap it up, I did... I said everything I wanted to say about Hooklight 1 in my last review. The one thing I didn't say was, for me, what grabbed me, what thrilled me, what really... Hooklight, what really hooked me was the 8th Doctor at the end. I just thought he's my favourite Doctor anyway, and just I was really intrigued and thrilled, and it just felt like they were putting all the stops at. I've loved this set, and more like it, please, Big Finish. What did you think? Do let me know in the comments below. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe. I look forward to speaking to you soon.